Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. The Twitter Files Part 7. Twitter Files Part 7 is out. We're going to get to that in 1 second. Really quickly, I did a segment today. It's from I was citing an article in 2018. GOP representatives, including Ron DeSantis, refer Comey, Clinton, McCabe for criminal investigation. Definitely check out that upload before this live stream to my super chat on this live stream. Thank you so very much. I cannot thank you enough, ladies and gentlemen. Hit subscribe. Again, to my super chat, I cannot thank you enough. Become a member. To my new members, Angie, thank you so much. Angie, thank you again for becoming a member. And Paul Bartlett, I believe you started off the super chat. Thank you. Let's get started. Ron DeSantis and other Republicans already referred Hillary Clinton, numerous other Federal Bureau of Investigation officials for criminal prosecution to the Department of Justice in 2018. Former Congressman Devin Nunes already gave criminal referrals to the Department of Justice on a number of people as well in 2019. If they send out a criminal referral, or if they level a criminal referral against Trump, the January committee, it will not be new. This is not something new. The difference, though, is that you have evidence that people committed crimes on the Democratic Party side with private service. You don't have any evidence that Trump committed crimes. That's why they haven't indicted him. Pony Soldier, thank you. Angie Warren, thank you so much for becoming a member. And Paul Bartlett, thank you so very, very much for the super chat. Let's get started with Elon Musk. Yet again, an example of First Amendment being broken. Government cannot get involved. Democrats had loyalists within the Federal Bureau of Investigation and other agencies. This is not rocket science. They had loyalists that sided with a political party. They utilized a Steele dossier against Trump, and they essentially set up and framed Trump with lies and absurd statements. He never was a Kremlin operative. He didn't pressure government officials or state officials. He didn't commit tax. He didn't commit any tax crimes. If you want to say his organization did, well, that's like suing Twitter. You can sue Twitter, but you won't be suing Elon Musk. Kim McGuire! What's up, my brother? Thank you, Kim. Thank you so very, very much. Greatly appreciated. To my super chat, thank you so much. One knock on me is, you thank people too much. Like, you know what? I'm going to thank people. You know, I'm not doing anything but talking about politics and my thoughts on what's going on, this very bizarre dystopian nightmare that we're slowly getting out of. So, Kim McGuire, thank you so much, as always, for your support and kind words. Thank you so very, very much. Henry, everybody here. Kristen, Eric Samurai, Pony Soldier, again, thank you. Paul Bartlett in Australia, thank you. Let's do this. Let's get started. So, Kim, thank you so much. So kind of you. So kind of you, as always. It means a great deal. So, Thread, Twitter Files Supplemental. They're going to go on all day with this. Okay? I mean, all year. They could go on all year. In July of 2020, San Francisco Bureau agent tells Twitter executive to expect written requests from the Foreign Influence Task Force, the interagency group that deals with cyber threats. The questionnaire authors, displeased with Twitter for implying in a July 20th DHS ODNI Bureau industry briefing that, quote, you indicated you had not observed much recent activity from official propaganda actors on your platform. They're not happy with that. One would think that would be good news. The agency seemed to feel otherwise. The Bureau agent underscored this, quote, there was quite a bit of discussion within the Bureau to get clarification from your company, he wrote, referring to the United States intelligence community. The task force demanded to know how Twitter came to its unpopular conclusion. Oddly, it included a bibliography of public sources, including a Wall Street Journal article attesting to the prevalence of foreign threats, as if to show Twitter they got it wrong. The interesting thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that it shouldn't matter at all. Henry, thank you again. Thank you, Henry. I didn't see that. Thank you, Henry. To my super chat, thank you. Kim McGuire, thank you so much as always, Kim. Thank you. Henry, thanks as always, Henry. I appreciate you watching. The task force demanded to know how Twitter came to its unpopular conclusion. What? Foreign influence is not a national security issue for a number of reasons. It really doesn't matter if another country finds out corruption. Let's say another country discloses the corruption within the Republican Party, or let's say another country infiltrates Trump's emails, and we learn that he acted just like Hunter and Joe. Then what happens? Then you better believe media won't care. Democrats won't care. They won't care at all. They'll just act, they'll act as if the last 6-7 years never happened. And they're more than happy to use foreign influence. The Steele dossier was an example. And that's an interesting, ironic or hypocritical, example of irony and hypocrisy. Okay? You have a situation where the Steele dossier was literally composed and compiled by foreign individuals. Christopher Steele is not American. He's not an American citizen. You have Hunter doing business in countries around the world. One of the most populous country in the world, in addition to the most populous country in the world, where Chuck Grassley stated there could have been companies serving state interests. So Hunter could have been working. I mean, these people are so interested. They're so worried about influence by other countries. And yet the hundreds of millions of dollars that go to the Democratic Party, either from FTX, we know 70 million. We know it wasn't just FTX wasn't located in this country. Elon Musk said FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried gave $1 billion. So, it's like you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where foreign influence is about money and graft. It's not about information that could misinform people. This is a subjective issue, number one. Number two, it was never viewed as national security before 2016. They were traumatized by the Democratic National Committee emails because those emails showed that the Democratic Party was cheating Bernie Sanders. Okay? Then their obsession was with never allowing any story to come out that was detrimental to the Democratic Party. Always claiming that another country wants you to know that Democrats were corrupt. It's another country's fault, don't you understand? Kim and Henry and Paul and Pony Soldier and everybody here. Angie, thank you. It's another country. Another country wants you to know that Democrats are corrupt. Don't you know? It can't be. I mean, if another country is giving you information, how many Americans are being misinformed? Well, you have Hunter Biden, you have Hillary and Bill, and you have, a uranium sale? That's okay. 20% of U.S. uranium capacity? That's okay. I mean, these people they will never admit it's like a battle to you-know-what. They will never admit defeat in an argument. It will always, when they can't possibly defend their actions, they will revert back to sensibilities. Well, who cares? It's no big deal. Well, Trump is worse. Kickbacks, no problem. You had one very respected intellectual saying, "Oh, kickbacks, no. Kickbacks are what ruin and destroy and break down countries." You can't graft. You can't have Angie. Hello. You can't have. Thank you for becoming a member, Angie. You cannot have a functioning government. You cannot have a functioning government when officials like the vice president or the current president, okay, is accepting money because a middleman, Hunter, is giving 10% or more of his earnings through promising favors, quid pro quo, pay-to-play schemes. People give money to Democrats to influence. Then there's this whole, obsession with Twitter and all the information people are getting on Twitter. What does it matter? This is the interesting thing. What does it matter if people if people get information from other countries that is true or untrue? It is the responsibility of the average American to decipher what is true. What is true is Hunter had emails on a laptop that he lost or that he gave to a computer repair store. This is true. This is not the work of another country, but you had 50 intelligence officials saying that was the case. Then they said the Democratic National Committee emails were the work of another country, but they never indicted anyone on working with foreign operatives. Nobody at that publisher, Assange, should be free. He wasn't indicted on conspiring or working with the Kremlin or any operatives of that country. Why not? These are simple questions. You break down propaganda with simple questions because it's all about emotion. They want you to be the wonderful Democrat, the wonderful, highly educated, morally superior liberal Democrats want you to be fearful of stupid things. Okay? It is not a national security risk if the Democratic National Committee has emails that show that they cheated Bernie Sanders. This is not national security. This is politics. And then they say, another country wants that. They wanted Trump. So then, because they wanted Trump, they convinced you that Democrats are corrupt. You don't need much convincing. Everyone knows this. Even Democrats know this. They don't care. It's like with the Twitter files and with Elon Musk banning or suspending journalists. The Washington Post reporter, I did a segment on that earlier today, very early in the morning. The Washington Post reporter is known for trying to go after individuals, trying to say, well, look how much this person's making money just for doing something that I don't find worthwhile. Doxing individuals and then complaining about that type of behavior when it affects Democrats. Okay, this is about, nobody uses the word Democratic Party. Thank God we can still use it on this platform. Maybe in the future we won't be able to, because that'll be a banned word. Because the truth, it would link to too much, it would correlate to too much truth about that political party. The Republican Party is not pure at all, but the Republican Party is in somewhat disarray because you have Trump and DeSantis. Well, Trump that controls everything. It's a populist political party, controls the ideology. Thank God, because the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld people got us into never-ending counterinsurgency wars and conflicts, destabilized regions of the world, and also ended their tenure with a cataclysmic market crash. And President Obama continued the same policies. So now the Uniparty, the same people that were kicked out of the Republican Party, Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, are essentially Democrats, although they voted alongside Trump over 90% of the time. So you really can't... There's so much duplicity. You have to understand, this... We've devolved into a dysfunctional high school. In the United States of America, we are a dysfunctional high school. We just found out that the cool kids are working with the administration, okay, or the principal, so or the top or the assistant principals to silence other students. So the Twitter files 1 through 6. This is Twitter file 7. show that government was getting involved to silence conservatives and Republicans. The response from Democrats and media and wonderful, highly educated, morally superior liberals is, oh, that's okay. You know what? It's not as bad as Elon Musk banning journalists. But why did he do that? Because they were actually doxing and finding out his real-time location. He could lose his life. That's it. Can you hear me, ladies and gentlemen? Am I back? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Can you hear me? I want you to write down on the super chat your favorite dessert. If you can hear me, just write down your favorite dessert. Just write down your favorite dessert, ladies and gentlemen. Don't say I'm back. Just say like chocolate ice cream, apple pie, something. Cookies, cheesecake, yes. Ben & Jerry's is good. 2 cheesecakes already. Cinnamon pie. 3 cheesecakes. How many? Wow, people love cheesecake here. Pumpkin pie. Chocolate anything, that's true. 4 cheesecakes? Thank you, Rehoboth Farms. Thank you. Happy Hanukkah. Rehoboth Farms, thank you. Happy Hanukkah to everybody. Thank you. Strawberry, yeah, strawberry ice cream. Creme brulee. Strudel, yes, strudel. Lemon meringue is good. Cheesecake, had a lot of shit. H. Potter, hello. Thanks, everybody. So sorry about that. Baklava, love baklava. Cow tongue, wow. Peach cobbler, oh my God, yes. Yes. All right, you're getting me hungry now. Okay, so let's continue. So, to my super chat again, thank you, Kim, everybody here. Henry, thank you so very, very much. The task force demands to know how Twitter came to its unpopular conclusion. Twitter's executive receiving questions circulated then with the company's executives and complained that he was frankly perplexed by the requests here, which seemed more like something we'd get from a congressional committee than the Bureau. Well, that's because the Bureau, the government agencies will push as far, they will, if you give them a finger, they'll take an arm. Or give them a hand, they'll take an arm, they'll take the whole body. Like, they will try to exert as much influence as possible. That's the issue. So, this is government getting involved. Now, when government gets involved, and government happens to, the interests of government always happen to align with the interests of the Democratic Party, that doesn't tell you that the Democratic Party is just so great for the country. It tells you that there are loyalists within the government that will utilize the notion of national security, the idea of national security, and protect the political party with that idea, with that policy objective. So the Democratic National Committee emails, like I said, had nothing to do with national security. These are emails about a Democratic socialist winning a primary or potentially winning a primary and an entire political establishment preventing him from winning. He went and just became part of that establishment. Bernie Sanders is an actual cog in a machine, a building like a brick in the edifice of establishment politics. Okay? He knows very well what he's doing. He was cheated. He knows he will always be cheated. He knows he will never be allowed to win. He would have won the nomination 2 primaries in a row. There's no doubt. Okay? But the entire system was like, we learned from the DNC emails that he was cheated. Okay, and it was a fair and neutral primary. It wasn't. They said it would be a fair and neutral primary. It wasn't. It wasn't. The Democratic Party prevented him from winning. Then they said in court that they didn't need to have a primary. So the entire system is fantasy, smoke and mirrors. They don't even have functioning primaries, and then they pontificate about democracy. And media understood very well that after 2016, if they didn't engage in the most absurd leaps of logic, that Trump would then also defeat them. If they didn't devote every waking hour to Merry Christmas, everyone. By the way, Lisa, everybody here, Merry Christmas. Rehoboth Farms, that it is good. If they didn't devote every waking hour, if they did not devote every waking hour to accusing Trump of everything under the sun, they wouldn't be able to win. You have to understand something. One would think that because of late night and because of like music industry, Hollywood, late night, government agencies siding with one political party, you would think that the Democratic Party is very powerful and very popular. It is not popular. It's the opposite. It has to have all of these advantages to function. It is not a viable political party if it doesn't have government loyalists, if it doesn't have Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert. These people are, could you imagine Johnny Carson or Arsenio Hall every single night? Could you imagine them every single night reading from a teleprompter about how bad the Republican Party was? They would never, they wouldn't be the great late night talk show hosts that they were, like, Steve Allen and Merv Griffin. Could you imagine all of these people just every single night pontificating and preaching about how great the Democratic Party is and how horrible the Republican Party is? This has not happened before in American society. We've had late night. We haven't had this infiltration of politics within society. It's not happened before. And if it doesn't happen in this manner, like if you don't have every single conceivable advantage, including state Republican parties like the Georgia and Arizona Republican parties. Now, I think that the Georgia and Republican parties have to, I think Trump or DeSantis have to reach out an olive branch to the Georgia and Arizona Republican parties, because 24 is lost. Even no matter what happens, if you don't have the Georgia and Arizona Republican parties on board, okay, with Trump or DeSantis, they would much rather have 4 more years of Biden or Hillary Clinton. That's just the way it is. Arizona's a red state. The reason there are Democrats there is because media is very important to never-Trumpers, okay? The reason a person is a never-Trumper is not because of value system. Liz Cheney voted well over, 92%. And Adam Kinzinger voted over 90% for Trump. They want the power that comes with, like, top officials within the Bureau and other agencies, intel agencies, all siding with Democrats. Hollywood, they have media, publishing companies, every political publication, the Washington Post, New York Times, MSNBC, CNN, Vanity Fair, Esquire, The Atlantic. I mean, you even have, like, Vogue. You even have, like, what? Like, why would Vogue get into... You have, like, publications that, get into politics. ESPN is overtly political. Why would, you have the Democratic viewpoint or the narrative on infiltrating every government institution, everything from late night. And yet it took think about that, ladies and gentlemen. We have almost 500 people here. Think about that. That's very important to think about. Think about that for a second. You have almost every single possible advantage if you're a Democrat, and you still had to have a runoff in Georgia. And Adam Laxalt barely lost, okay, in Nevada. And in fact, Lombardo, the Republican, won in Nevada. So and then you have Mitch McConnell, who will not back. And then you have who will not back a Trump endorsed candidate. And you have the Republican parties that will not back a Trump endorsed candidate. The state Republican parties, even though the will of the entire political party sides with Trump. So you still barely lost. Okay, Kari Lake barely lost. Barely. These are red states, people. These are red states. Arizona is a conservative state. But the Republicans just said, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, we're not going to try our best to back the Trump candidate, because you have local publications at these states at the capital, located within the capitals of these states that are all liberal Democrats. They will not ever say anything good about Trump or DeSantis or any Republican. And that's all. I mean, you see it in the news. You type in Trump, only negative stories. You type in Biden, the majority are positive stories, even though the economy stinks and we're heading into yet another recession. And so they make absurd leaps of logic with Trump. Look what they did to Herschel Walker. I mean, talk about bigotry and prejudice. And even you have comedians that, oh yeah, it's like, well, have you heard Fetterman speak or Joe Biden? You're going to compare Herschel Walker to them? Really? Because I can understand Herschel Walker. I can't understand those two Democrats. They couldn't even pass a sobriety test. Pennsylvania senator and our beloved president, mashed potato brains. They're making up words. They're, doing bizarre things with run-on sentences and, combining two different thoughts into one sentence. Like, what? Literally just making up words, slurring their speech. So it's like, you're going to compare that with Herschel Walker, who speaks with a southern, it's like a southern dialect or southern accent or tone, intonation. I mean, the speech pattern is a speech pattern that many people in that region of the country, that's the same way many people express themselves, of all backgrounds. But he's the one who is insulted and demeaned and mocked. But it's not Oz versus Fetterman. And it's like, that was the worst debate of all time. It was, if he was driving a car, Pennsylvania's new senator, and he was pulled off the side of the road, and a highway patrol officer, state patrol officer said, can you step out and talk to the person, he would go straight to jail. Because they don't care about candidate quality. They will side with any candidate as long as they can win. Kevin Duder, Joel Valdez, where's my blue check mark? Joel, hello. Kevin, thank you so very, very much. Kevin Duder, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that, Kevin. Greatly appreciated as always. As always, Kevin, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's continue. Kevin, thank you again. He added he was not comfortable with the Bureau and by extension, the IIC demanding written answers. The idea of the Bureau acting as a conduit for the intelligence community is interesting, given the agencies are barred from domestic operations. Apparently they're not barred at all from domestic operations, and You see this also like in other countries. The intelligence agencies were always silent and shadowy. They're hidden within the shadows. Now they picked a political side that just happens to have great control in terms of like media narrative. So they think that they can then grab even more power or influence. Really bizarre things happening in other countries. If you see somebody acting weird, that person might be about to do something horrible. Like, well, you really can't predict evil. There's no such thing as pre-crime. That's like a science fiction. You can't predict evil. There could be some signs here and there, but then again, there are millions of other examples where those same signs lead to nothing. The best thing is to protect yourself using the Second Amendment. But of course, Democrats want to erase that while at the same time using taxpayer money for Secret Service and security details. And so everyone becomes a Trump Republican when they're home at night. Or actually, everyone becomes a Trump... Oh, I don't. Everyone becomes a Trump Republican when they feel threatened. When they feel that their life is at risk. Or I should say, when they feel that they need to protect themselves in some way, whether it's First Amendment, Second Amendment. Legalize freedom, thank you. Legalize freedom, thank you so very much. To my super chat, I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough. Legalize freedom, I hope all is well. Kevin, thank you again. Thank you so much, legalize freedom. So... you have even Twitter saying, hey, this isn't right, but let's go with it. He sent another note internally saying premise of the questions was flawed because we've been clear that official state propaganda is definitely a thing on Twitter. Note the italics for emphasis. The Twitter official suggested they get on the phone with Elvis ASAP and try to straighten this out, to disabuse the agencies of any notion that state, okay, it's not a thing on Twitter. The exchange is odd. Exchange is odd among other things because some of the bibliography materials cited are sourced to intelligence officials who in turn cited public sources. So it's this really vapid, they'll say Twitter is allowing other countries to infiltrate this country. And then they use the justification is an article that either they had input in writing or another article from a favorable publication backing up their claim. Okay, you see this in Wikipedia also. A conservative pundit will be lambasted on Wikipedia, or like, you know, the description of the person will show all of these bad things, or like there'll be a controversy section where all these bad things are said about the conservative pundit. The liberal pundit will not have that controversy section where liberal publications have stated, hey, this pundit is dishonest, all that stuff. The Bureau responded to Fry's report by saying it regularly engages with private sector entities to provide information specific to identified foreign malign influence actors, subversive, undeclared, covert criminal activities. They're targeting conservatives and Republicans because these people, the people they silenced, were not accused of any criminal act or working with another country. This is the McCarthy era, but with a liberal democratic. This is the McCarthy era, but with social media. This is a social media version of the McCarthy era. Okay? Legalize freedom, thank you again. Kevin Duder, thank you. Kim Aguirre, thank you. So, Henry Mann, thank you. So, So that may be true. We haven't seen documents to date. Instead, we've mostly seen requests for moderation involving low follower accounts belonging to ordinary citizens and Billy Baldwin. Barry Weiss and Schellenberger to move from Twitter files. For more, watch Barry Weiss and Schellenberger for more from the Twitter files. Mark's safe from the Bird app today. And so you have a situation where this is very unfortunate, because this is just fine to the Democratic Party. Used to be like, liberals used to care about free speech. They used to care about free speech. TMWT, thank you. They used to care about free speech. They don't anymore. They don't care. You know what? There have been a number of YouTubers that go on college campuses and ask, "Do you care about free speech?" The answer on, like, if they're like, a very, very passionate, left-leaning ideologue is, no, we don't care. It's overrated. And they don't get that, like, you have to have a society. What matters is not where the information comes from. What matters is if the information is true or not. It didn't matter that another country allegedly hacked the DNC. Well, the Bureau never got DNC servers, okay? You're relying on an assessment. This entire thing is smoke and mirrors, okay? When John Brennan was asked before Congress, do you have evidence? He says, I don't do evidence, I do intelligence. Meaning he just can make things up if he wants, as long as he feels it's important for national security. That's what it means. That's what it means. So, that's what it means. You have to understand, it's like, if you engage with private sector entities to provide information specific, that's fine. But if you are actually, thank you, Paul, if you're actually deleting people's tweets, then, thank you, Annie, thank you. If you're actually deleting people's tweets, you are breaking the First Amendment. Ghost Dog, hello. You are breaking the First Amendment. By the way, hit subscribe if you're new to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly. No PhD coyote. Exactly. You're going to see a lot of congressional subpoenas. Oh my goodness, what did you say? You're going to see a lot of congressional demands for testimony. You're going to see a lot. And then they sent Steve Bannon. They convicted him of ignoring a subpoena, and for 4 months in jail, 6 months. So you're going to see a lot of that. And now you have Republicans that are going to investigate now. And it's always, we can't even talk about this, sources and methods. Federal Bureau facing subpoenas after Twitter files, Representative Mike Turner says. And they're not going to answer any questions, but it's going to be an important step. Mike Turner. You'll be hearing a lot about Mike Turner. He's taking over for Adam Schiff. That's huge. That's huge, ladies and gentlemen. You had Adam Schiff for 5 years. American Girl. Thank you so very much. Hey, HA, what's going on with Elon taking a Twitter poll asking if you should step down? Thoughts? I think that he knows I think he knows that everyone loves him. I'm pretty sure that the majority of the people are going to side with him. I think that he's more than willing to kind of maybe the heat is maybe he doesn't like the heat, and understandably so, because it's like they get themselves into the media will get themselves into an apoplectic hysterical reaction. They did it with Trump. They're doing it with Elon Musk. They'll do it with DeSantis. Anything that they deem as irrational or that falls beyond the scope of their sensibilities is a crime against humanity. That's why they focus on Elon Musk. Bureau bracing for subpoenas after Twitter files, Representative Mike Turner says. Twitter files started dropping more than 2 weeks ago. And these Twitter files can continue to go on and on and on and on. You've had 4 years of immense censorship involving the government. That's the issue. The government involvement. American Girl, the government involvement. Danger, danger, hello. They will laugh at all the involved. They will laugh. I'm reading this. They will They will be forced to testify. They will be forced to testify. But they'll say sources and methods, sources and methods, sources and methods, sources and methods. And they're not going to answer anything. Okay? But see, oh Lord, at the end of the day, you know, it's unfortunate because you have a lot of society that really thinks, love Sam Kinison. You have a lot of society, most Democrats have a very favorable view of media, the intelligence community, and don't mind the First and Second Amendments being limited. They don't think that they don't think that the First Amendment. They think that, well, it's not absolute, so we can't talk about the Twitter. We can't talk about Hunter Biden's laptop. Why? Because it hurts their political side. It hurts their political side. It's about politics, people. It's about politics, and it's about power and, indoctrination. The society is they're trying so hard to indoctrinate, but it's not really working. It's not really working. The second they were treated like Trump Republicans, they had a meltdown. The second that they were treated, Dr. Pedro, hello. The second that they were banned, suspended, specific journalists, oh my God, we're speaking truth to power, see? No, you're not. When you're engaging in a potential criminal act, you do not have the right to the First Amendment. Reporting on Hunter's emails after a computer repairman found, had the computer for, enough time to where he could actually own it, and seeing emails that show clear violations of the law, they're clear. You'd have to read the emails. See, ignorance also is very important to highly educated, morally superior liberal Democrats. When they're ignorant of their own political side, they can then feel morally superior. See, you can only condemn and judge if you feel that you're condemning somebody far worse than yourself. The problem is they don't realize that their political party is far worse than anything Trump has ever done. And when they try to issue a rebuttal, it's always hyperbole. He tried to overthrow the government. No, he didn't. You'd have to be an imbecile to believe that. He worked with the Kremlin. No, he didn't. They found nothing. John Brennan even stated, I don't do evidence, I do intelligence. James Clapper himself stated, we don't have any evidence that Trump was But we're going to still investigate. They don't have any evidence with Trump, but they're investigating. It might happen. So then you have this really, really sinister type of, you see this in other countries. You'll probably see it here soon. People who are anti-government tend to do bad things. You know who was anti-government? Everyone who resisted Trump. The resistance was celebrated. We're the resistance. Oh, this is the 1930s and 1940s. And we're the resistance. No, you are petulant, malicious. You're a petulant, malicious, sad, pathetic political party that lost and then did everything possible to undermine and stifle and demean and disparage the current president at the time. The resistance was the Democrats were the anti-government political party when Trump was running the government. When Trump and Republicans were, Paul Ryan, so I say that loosely. You have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where when they say anti-government, they mean not listening to them when they're in power. This is like so easy to decipher, this absurd propaganda. It's like so stupid. It would be like the equivalent of being in a relationship with like a maniac. Honey, where's the remote control? You don't know where the remote control is again? You lost it? You lost it because another neighbor influenced you? You, with the remote control, you know what? You're not finding the remote control. That's an issue. That's the neighbor is influencing you. And you know what? I think we need a divorce. It's not that serious. Just a remote control. Like they'll take a social media, like a message on Twitter. They'll delete the message because it misinforms. And it might misinform based on the interests of another country. Not like, oh, let that American citizen decipher for himself or herself if it's true or not. Is it even possible that American citizens could decipher the truth? Do we need 5,000 fact checks with context needed? And then you know what? The fact check can be easily fact checked by the same people they're trying to disparage. They've redefined, fact check is 1955. If somebody says that the Brooklyn Dodgers won the World Series in 1956, you say, no, fact check, 1955. Leave it at that, end of story. Mark Volker! And anti-government went in the course of human events. Exactly. Is creating a new government. Exactly. That's right. Mark Volker, thank you so very, very, very much. These are all like Declaration of Independence, Constitution. They're all beautifully written. Beautifully written documents. Mark, great point. Thank you, Mark. And that's the thing. It's like you have these people that are so worried about information that has to be filtered through their own sensibilities. Propaganda is about emotion. It's not about information. Mark, thank you again. They lie the most. Like Jimmy Kimmel the other night, he was talking about a bureaucrat. Like, this bureaucrat has spent his entire life helping people. Well, there's a rational, logical, reasonable viewpoint to have a different opinion. Joel Valdez, hello. Steppenwolf, hello. There's a rational and logical and reasonable viewpoint to have a different opinion. Okay? So sometimes you can disagree. It's actually possible. Mark and everybody here, thank you so very much, Mark. Great point. It's actually possible, Paul, thank you, to disagree with a wonderful, highly educated, morally superior liberal Democrat. See, I was a Democrat my whole life. I know the racket. That's like, I know the racket. I know the groupthink, the tribalism. I get it. I had people turning on me when I supported Bernie Sanders, who was already, you could see it when I was on the left. I already saw it with my own eyes. Wait a second, these people are taking it way too seriously. Okay, when I grew up, you didn't talk about politics, religion, or money. You didn't talk about politics, religion, or money. At the dinner table, I don't talk about politics, religion, or money. You know, I try not to talk about politics at all with any friends that I have left. Because, like, you have fanatics. Some people, it's really weird. Like, you know how, like, sometimes, like, you'll see regions descend into total, like, civil conflict and war, and like, people who were normally friends turn the other in, or, like, you know, do despicable things to their former friends. You're like, what? We grew up together. When Trump came into office, you suddenly see these people, like, suddenly, like, they just turn on you, and the only thing you did was vote for Trump. And the problem is they're so ignorant as to the massive corruption on their political side of the divide, far outweighing Trump. If Trump had a private server with top secret intel, I wouldn't vote for him. I really wouldn't. If he kept the same foreign policy, but then even then, if he had, like, Hunter working for him, or like Donald Trump Jr. with Hunter's emails, I wouldn't vote for him. If he cheated DeSantis, I think Trump is a fantastic president. If he cheated DeSantis, I wouldn't vote for Trump. But he wouldn't do that. That's not the way he rolls. That's the way Democrats roll. Rick, thank you. It's the next 2 years, I'm telling everybody here, don't talk politics with anybody. Because I thought that, like, once they got Biden, they'd, like, simmer down and calm down and be happy. Like, look, you have Biden. What's the problem? It's Trump! He's still a menace, Trump! Trump! DeSantis is even worse! No! Twitter! Elon Musk is banning journalism! Well, now you know how it feels to be a Republican on Twitter. Oh, you don't like how it feels, huh? Well, I thought it was free speech. Oh! It's like, you imbecile. Do you have any functioning brain cell? Do you have any functioning brain cells? Or are you a carbon copy of the Democratic senator from Pennsylvania and mashed potato brains? Do you not see a difference between doxing somebody and reporting on graft and bribery? Is there a difference? Like, you have to speak very slowly to these people because they don't understand. It's like trying to teach, like, a house cat physics or something. Do you not see morally superior liberal Democrats? Do you not see the difference between committing crimes and harming Elon Musk's family and overt graft and potential bribery schemes with hundreds of millions of dollars going into companies and Joe Biden getting a cut and lying about everything from his involvement to his being forcing out a prosecutor while Hunter benefits from that, and emails showing, hey, how can you use your influence on the company's behalf? We need your help. Thanks for helping us setting up a meeting to meet the Vice President of the United States of America. Want to bet that those conversations weren't recorded? You better believe every conversation Trump ever had was recorded. You think Biden's conversation with Hunter's business associates were probably by the NSA? But again, they have the intel community. Hi, neighbor. Hi, John Brennan. Just mowing my lawn, James Clapper. I'm just, giving my car an oil change. Honorable James Comey. It's a community. It's like 30 people that the top spy chiefs and managers. That's not a community. It's like maximum 30 of the most powerful people that align with the Democratic Party or never Trump Republicans. Trump comes in, he's like, you know what? These are false idols. Let's break everything. We don't like it. We don't like this nonsense. And then you have the same people like, Bush, he had to do what he did. It could have been WMD. Oh, Lord, my computer. And it's like, no, that was yet another failure. Yet another failure of the intel community. The wonderful community. Let me know if you can hear me, ladies and gentlemen. For some reason, oh, Lord. Okay. So, exactly, Tennessee Patriot. That's true. American Girl, hello. They're like, I remember one conversation I had with a former friend who, by the way, I was like, a lot of these people, like, you know somebody for 30 years and you politics. Here's how I know that they're part of a cult and I'm not. I don't care who they vote for. Do you think that I care who someone votes for? It's not important to me. I also don't care how much money you make, and I don't care what your religion is. And I don't care what your ethnicity or, your race or anything. If you're a good person, you're a good person. Would love to be your friend if, we know each other and, we were friends growing up. And I don't care. I don't see people as, like, chess pieces. Democrats see people as chess pieces. They see people as commodities. A stock. The average, why do you think these people, if the average Democrat said, I'm voting for Trump, I just, you know what? I'm just voting for Trump. I want to vote for Trump. If the average Democrat said that, they'd lose all their friends. They would lose all their friends. That's the really sad thing about all of this. Like, politics, and it's also, you know what it is? It's media too. Media is like Chris Cuomo said, media is not your friend. He was telling that, I think he was friends with, who was Chris Cuomo friends with? Michael Cohen. That's a bizarre union right there. And media is not your friend. No, media is not your friend. When you have like a liberal publication calling you up and you're a supporter of Trump, and they're like, I just want to do an expose or a story on what you're doing. Oh, you want to demean and disparage me because you don't like my political viewpoint. It's public relations. Notice how many hit pieces have the Washington Post or the New York Times done on million sub YouTubers on the left? Not a one. Not one. Okay? There are hit pieces. There were like a couple on me back in the day. They will go after the left only if people on the left refuse to vote Democrat. Then it's a problem. But other than that, it's like, the goal of journalism nowadays is either public relations or at times investigative journalism. But when was the last time the Washington Post or New York Times investigated a Democrat? When was the last time that happened? When was the last time that happened? When was the last time they did a story on Biden's administration? When was the last time a negative story or like some kind of actual like investigative journalism on Hunter. It was 2015. That was the last time the New York Times ever did anything. It was the article on Hillary Clinton and Uranium One. And it was amazing, a wonderful article. Talk about foreign influence. You have 20% of U.S. uranium capacity eventually being sold to apparently our mortal enemies. And that's okay. But Trump said, Vladimir, if you're listening, you have Hillary's emails. Let's go. And then they're like, did you see? He was asking the Kremlin for help. And then they make these absurd leaps of logic. They think that if he just like yells out into the ether, that it's like some kind of, treasonous thing. Because Clinton did the same thing. She asked the most populous country in the world for Trump's tax returns, which produced nothing. The difference is that Trump's tax returns produce nothing. You better believe Hillary's emails would produce some interesting things, probably. Almost certainly. Okay? But like I said, I mean, I really think that she's going to be the nominee. Hillary Clinton, I think, is going to be nominee in 2024. I really do. I really do. And you say, well, she doesn't want a campaign. She doesn't need a campaign. She doesn't need a campaign. That our current president barely campaigned. So, I think that the next 2 years will be very interesting. The pendulum is swinging towards Trump Republicans and Trump. His emails, her emails, American Girl, that's right. I think that be careful, everybody, with people that I would even say you have to be careful, not because of, like, understand that the next 2 years, the same people who despise Trump will take it I thought that they would just calm down and be like, look, you have Biden now. Can you be happy, please? But they'll take it a notch up. Like, if they didn't disown you already, they probably will. And it's probably for your benefit because you have these people insulating themselves. They only hang out. They only want to be with people who agree with them politically. And that is the hallmark of a cult. I don't really care. Like, for me, I'm fine with if you vote Democrat, if you vote Green Party, Libertarian, I don't really care. It's not important to me. I don't really care. But it is very, very important to people because they've been used to every single advantage. And the cognitive dissonance, the barriers to actual truth and to the corruption within their political side, they're going to keep on building and erecting walls to prevent, oh my goodness, you said that word. They're going to keep on erecting walls to prevent the truth about their political side. So, they don't want to know, like, the reason that you have... Can you hear me okay now? How about now? How about now, people? Okay, let's do a poll really quickly. Okay. How important is Twitter no longer being a Dem Party echo chamber and allowing free speech? Leonidas, hello. Love Trucks! Thank you, Love Trucks. Thank you, Love Trucks. So let me ask you this. How important... Let me ask you this. How important is Twitter no longer being a Dem Party echo chamber? Love Trucks, thank you so much. To my super chat, I cannot thank you enough, people. Thank you. How important is Twitter? I mean, I'll give you my thoughts in a second, but how important is Twitter no longer... Nice. 50% and 16 votes. Wow. Wow. So I agree with you. It is very, very important. It's very important. I would say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that it did. That was tough. That was a tough pill to swallow. But you know what? The House, you know what? Had the Durham probe enjoyed the like a House of Representatives that was Trump Republican, it'd be a different story. Angela Goodwin! Uncle George might not be so happy about Twitter. Angela Goodwin! Let's see, what are you referring to? Angela Goodwin, thank you! Thank you, Angela. Thank you so very much. Angela, thank you. Greatly appreciated as always. So, yeah, I mean, it is important. Very, very important. I think that if you look, like, the next January is going to be a whole new ballgame, people. Impeachment, they're gonna subpoena Hunter Biden immediately. And again, Steve Bannon is going to jail because of that. Steve Bannon is going to jail because of that. So does that mean a judge will force Hunter to testify? You know, I mean, so, I mean, at a certain point, Democrats have to be treated in the same manner as Republicans, at least by the legal system. There has to be. I mean, if you're going to go ahead and, exactly, danger, exactly. If you're going to go ahead and make a big deal about people not testifying, they're going to enforce. First of all, you'll have Mike Turner, Republican, Trump Republican. You'll have Mike Turner and the House Intel. You will not have Adam Schiff anymore. It's a completely new ballgame. And who was the House Intel chief? Oh, it was Devin Nunes, I believe. Oh, who was House Intel? House Intel Chairman 2018. Devin Nunes, right? No, 2017. I believe it was Devin Nunes. Yeah. He did the best job he could. He did the Born to Raise Hawks, thank you! As always, Born to Raise Hawks, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, as always, for your support. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you. If you remember Devin Nunes, Born to Raise Hawks, everybody here, Thank you so much. Your support via Super Chat, everybody, is greatly appreciated. If you remember, Devin Nunes was the most, important. Devin Nunes, when he was the House Intel Chairman in 2017, was the most important Republican backing Trump. And Kash Patel, he's a hero. They're both heroes. Devin Nunes, Kash Patel, these are real American patriots. Not people who just suddenly come out of the woodwork. Oh, I don't like Trump. He's really mean. He's horrible. They actually, the hilarious thing is that what they say is Trump's foreign policy changes to President Obama's foreign policy was an example of another country's influence. Well, President Obama came in with a, say it slowly, Democrats, Russian reset. So the hypocrisy is unbelievable. Goontune, yes. They will demand testimony from Twitter officials. They absolutely will. Born to Raise Hogs, thank you so very much. Love Jim Jordan. You have to understand, January is going to be very, very different. January is going to be very different. Completely different. And you're gonna see the impeachment of Biden will be a groundbreaking thing. Believe me, the media will try to downplay it. They won't even cover it. They won't even cover the impeachment hearings. Who knows if Fox News will? Hopefully Newsmax will, or who knows if C-SPAN will. But those impeachment, he will be impeached. And Democrats will roll in. That's why I believe Hillary is going to replace Biden. It'll be Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton will become the nominee in 2024. I know I've said this before. And 2 years ago was very bizarre for a number of reasons. But there's nothing stopping the Clintons now. Hillary Clinton will be the nominee, and it'll be Hillary versus Trump again. Trump will pick DeSantis, and Hillary will pick, I don't even know. Who would Hillary Clinton pick as VP? Certainly won't be Tim Kaine. Who will she pick? Who will Clinton pick as vice president? As her VP pick against Trump and DeSantis. Okay, so Trump and DeSantis versus Hillary Clinton and who would be? It probably won't be Kamala Harris because that's Biden's vice president. Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried or Andrew Cuomo. Eric Samurai, born to raise hogs. What's it gonna be? Fetterman? Fetterman's a good one. Who's it? What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Sam Bankman-Fried or Andrew Cuomo? Hillary Clinton will be the nominee. You watch. And people on the left who certain people, progressives that used to like me, that don't like me now, they find it amusing that I've spoken so much about this. Oh, you're talking about Hillary again. Why do you think all of this is taking place? All of this is a Clintonian political framework. Trump and DeSantis versus Hillary Clinton and Sam Bankman-Fried or Andrew Cuomo. Um, Old Town, hello. We have to have that, people, because I've been the only person saying this. And look, did you think Fetterman would win? Anything's possible. Okay? Anything's possible. When Hillary runs, it'll be she told you so. That's her thing. She told you so. Hashtag she told you so. Faith, hello. It'll be hashtag she told you so. And you'll see like everyone at MSNBC, you were so right on everything with Trump. Do you have a crystal ball, Hillary? You were so right. The madness, the really, they're actually describing their own behavior, not Trump's behavior. You could tune out things that he says, but I understand like it does get a little like he does push their buttons, which he should probably not do, you know. But they're like, oh my God, he emboldens people. Then stop covering every word he says. These people are the most duplicitous and disingenuous. Media's like, here, we're covering him incessantly 24/7 because he emboldens bad people. Then why do you sensationalize everything he says? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, apparently. If you thought that somebody's words were like so horrible, then defeat them with logic and reason, and don't obsess over don't become the marketing agency for the people you don't like. It's like it is the Borg. It is. It is like this really, really, really just very bizarre. I've never seen this before. I've never seen this like. You would think also that like here's how powerful it is. Really, really, here's how powerful it is. Okay. You can have 30 years of a friendship that is built on like so many happy times and whatever, and because of 24/7 media coverage the past 7 years, that person thinks that you're really voting for the embodiment of all evil and the reincarnation of Satan, which, by the way, there's an after-school Satan club in Virginia, I think, which is hilarious. Terrible, but also hilarious. Someone in the chat, that would be fantastic. But I think it has to be DeSantis, because you have to have somebody who has already won a governor or senator. So born to raise hogs, thank you. Angie, thank you. Pony Soldier, thank you. Yeah, I mean, the next 2 years will be very... January is going to be completely different, people. Like, don't think that... Ladies and gentlemen, don't think that, the Durham probe, nothing's ever going to happen. It's happening. It is happening. The Hunter Biden story is just getting started. What they should do is just simply put all the emails, put those emails that aren't like, that don't expose his location, God forbid. Don't do anything criminal, like the journalists that were trying to go after Elon Musk. They're so petulant, too. Like, well, let me finish the first thought. Just go ahead, like the DNC emails, just put all the emails. Have the Washington Post and others try to defend those emails. They won't be able to. They won't be able to. Jesus Matters, hello. Thank you, Jackie, thank you. Roger Robert, hello. Angela Goodwin! The cheater has... He won't be able to make it. Oh. Angela Goodwin. Huh, let me look that up. Angela, you're awesome. Let me just... I don't know what that is. Angela, thank you. Hold on one second. Ah. Ooh. Ooh. Oh boy. Eee. Ouch. Please give $2 to Wikipedia. Please give if you have $2, give it to Wikipedia so the modern day Encyclopedia Britannica can be an actual Democratic Party newsletter. Wow. Thank you, Angela. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. It's very, very huge, and it let's see. Elon Musk. So, as the saying goes, be careful what you wish for, you might get it. Should I step down for Twitter? But I'm not on Twitter. If I haven't had Twitter. It's not like, this is the funny thing too. Like, there's no like, when people are like, oh yeah, Elon Musk disagrees with people and he bans them. No. That's what happened with Democrats who ran Twitter. They disagreed with anyone, they were banned. What happened with Elon Musk is that people were putting him in danger. That's why. It is so easy. They think that their emotions can actually make irrational statements logical. So because you blurt out an emotional statement that is not logical, that is not backed by fact, they think that it's actually fact-driven because they see some kernel or semblance of hypocrisy there. You see, you're banning people too. Nobody said that he would never ban people. The issue is that he's not banning people because they're Democrats. He's banning people because these people wanted to torment him. Big difference. Now they won't be able to torment with impunity, without any consequences at all. Here's the difference also. Conservatives or independent-minded people, independents, libertarians, they don't focus really, like, I don't really care what anyone on the left thinks, really. I don't devote any segments on disparaging other YouTubers. Left-leaning YouTubers devote many segments to disparaging other conservative YouTubers. That's a big difference. That's a huge difference. Okay? That's also part of the cult. Rehoboth Farm, slow. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I don't have Twitter. I mean, I don't want anybody. I don't know what the actual number is here. Let's see. So, should I step down as head of Twitter? Now, I'm not gonna vote on it. I would obviously vote no. I'm not logged on, so it wouldn't work anyway. But let me see here. I wonder what the actual. All right. So hold on one second. Elon Musk. Okay. Dang it. It won't allow you to. By the way, congratulations to Argentina. Great World Cup victory. Wow. Messi is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So if you're watching in Argentina, congratulations. Going forward, there will be a vote for major policy changes. My apologies, won't happen again. See, he shouldn't have done that. I mean, it's really awesome of him, but he really shouldn't have done that. You think there was a vote on, there wasn't a vote on the New York Post, and the rebuttal could be, well, yeah, that's why Elon Musk is better. That's why what he's doing is a lot better. Yes, but also it's like, I don't understand what the big deal is. If you have journalists who have acted with impunity for so long, suddenly they get treated suddenly in the manner that conservatives were treated. They can't handle it. They can't possibly handle it. It's like, oh my God, you're to them, it's hypocrisy. To them, they had every right to work with the Federal Bureau of Investigation to delete conservative accounts. They had every single right to ban the New York Post. It's just... Okay, good. Born to Raise Hawks, thank you. Good. So 56 yes, 44 no. Thank you, Born to Raise Hawks. People appreciate that. That might be the case. Yeah, Reboth, that might be the case. He could be fishing for bots again. Maybe. That's interesting. I'm sure that you know what? That's also very interesting. He probably has like 5 or 6 other reasons. You're right. As to why he wants to do that. That's true, huh? Uh-oh. I think he was referring to artificial intelligence there. Those who want power are the ones who least deserve it. True. Absolutely true. Almost always. I think Trump is the fact that he isn't a traditional politician that didn't care about, like, he doesn't worship intelligence agencies or political parties. He doesn't, I don't think he craved the power the way, like, lifelong Republican and Democrats do. Debbie, hello! I don't think he craves the power the way you have people who, and that's why they despise him so much. He just came in, and that's, if Trump can just get back, he needs to show even the people that despise him. Like, he needs to sit down. What he should do, and Hollywood would love this, what he should do, and this would be an amazing thing, okay? He should get every, like, Rob Reiner and every Hollywood celebrity and go and say, look, I'm going to be at CNN. Come debate me. Come talk to me. You can debate. You just talk to me. Come talk to me. Okay? Come talk to me. And, like, oh, you're so horrible. You could have done this different. It's like, look, you know what? Here was my vantage point. Like, they blamed him for more people lost their lives under Biden, by the way, from you know what. Does anyone know this? A lot of people know this, but more people. And then, of course, they didn't blame Biden. So he needs to show his humanity. Angela Goodwin, do you have friends in Argentina? I have friends from Argentina. Angela Goodwin, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy for Vince McMahon. Eric, hello. What Trump should do, first of all, if I were Trump, I would say fly to Texas or, wherever Joe Rogan's studio is. I don't know if I think Joe Rogan said he didn't want to interview Trump. But I would go to Ben Shapiro. I would go to Tim Pool if I were Trump. If I were Trump, I would go to CNN tomorrow. MSNBC. I would have a discussion. Trump and Maddow should have a discussion. Trump and Anderson Cooper. And instead of when he says, and when they make an absurd allegation against him, like, why did you do this? Like, wait a second. He could answer calmly and rationally and just, that's not true. That wasn't the case. Well, the consensus says this. That's not true. I tried my best. Show humanity to the people that despise him. Show that he's a human being. Because what's taken place is that Trump has ceased to be a human being to these people. Jigsaw, hello. He's ceased to be a human being. He's no longer really a person to these people. He's an embodiment of negative emotion. He should show who he is as a human being. Like, it's very difficult when you yeah, you have to go talk to Anderson Cooper, Trump and you know what Trump should do? Chris Cuomo has a new show. I forgot on what network. He should go and speak to Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo spent 5 years just trying to disparage him. He should Rachel Maddow, he should go and speak to Trump, should be interviewed by Maddow or debate Maddow or whatever on her show tomorrow. That's what Trump should do. He has to do that because otherwise, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my motto. But if it's broke, fix it. If it's broke, fix it. In a way, we're not. We are, but we're bad people. He was in 2015. He was with Mika and Joe. He was exactly Pony Soldier. He was with Mika and Joe all the time. And he was interviewed by CNN. You have to be able to thank you, Richard. Happy Hanukkah. Chag Sameach. Merry Christmas to everyone also. You have to be able to, in my view, in my view, to show your opponent that you're a human being and that you can actually sit down and have a conversation with them. Because these people watch The Apprentice. They watch The Apprentice. They were all the people who despise Trump watched The Apprentice. All of the people who dislike Trump watched the Barbara Walters interview in the 80s. So he was part of Americana. He was friendly with David Letterman and I think he was on Jimmy Kimmel also. Oh, I agree with you, Debbie. I agree with you. Yes. I think that it's natural, it's understandable that he doesn't want to do any of these things right now. Believe me, I don't blame him. and it's 2 years before, so he understands that, people have already forgotten the dinner he shouldn't have had or whatever. People have already forgotten that tweet about the Constitution. People have already forgotten the trading cards. He just can't make it a continuous habit. Like, there has to be, like, he can't always preach to the choir. That's all I'm saying. There has to be a moment where he says, okay, you know what? I'm willing to not be defensive, even though it's natural to be defensive when you have the entire planet after you. But, I'm willing to show the people who don't like me that I tried my best and that they're wrong on a lot of things. And independence, that's the thing too. Independence. You show independent voters. And also, if you do so before the season starts. Angela Goodwin! I might take it too far, but Jeremiah and Job had no choice, tried their best, and were not heard. Trump is locked into the same faith. Let's see. It's embarrassing. I should have a refresher course. Or I need okay, so Job. God, yeah, that's right. Okay, so, though, the thing is, though, the interesting thing, Angela, the difference, though, is that Job had logical questions of God. Well, why is God, allowing this to happen? With Trump, I just want him to play politics a bit better. That's all. I just think that great point, Jeff. Thank you. Great point, Angela. As always, thank you. I just think that he should change the narrative. He should take control of the media narrative regarding, who he is, what he's about. Then they'll be like, "Why did you have that dinner? Look," and this is how he should answer it. Yeah, Kanye was a friend of mine. He brought somebody. I don't like him. We were at Mar-a-Lago. I wasn't gonna kick Ye out, and that's what happened. You do realize that a lot of people have said, again, I didn't know who he was, so I don't know what you want me to say. Next question. I don't know. You're asking me a question. I'm here to as an olive branch, and he could do that. Tammy, thank you so very much. I enjoy it here a lot more. I enjoy it here. Would enjoy it here a lot more. Like, all he has to do, that's all he has to do. They're going to be like, well, you wrote that thing about the Constitution that you want to obliterate it. Look, I never said I wanted to obliterate the Constitution. All I said was there were crimes committed against me. And, well, I don't know how he'd explain that. I don't know. See, again, that was a little bit of hyperbole. Nothing that I actually meant. Like, I didn't really mean we're going to rewrite the Constitution, okay? I don't know. Like, that's my point. Like, he could say, look, we had record low unemployment, record low poverty, Doha Agreement that Biden botched, Abraham Accords, peace between North and South Korea, or the beginning of détente, first president, hundreds of thousands of new manufacturing jobs. We're energy independent. Energy independent. We had inflation low, better economy. He could do all those things. And the thing is, like, if he does it, if he does it to a rally, at a rally, it's not going to have the same impact. It simply will not have the same impact because then media will, just be like, oh, well, he was at a rally today and da da da. So, and they'll just, because, he's banned on this platform. He needs to get back on Twitter. I can't, but if he gets back on Twitter, he can't, that's the thing, A leopard isn't going to, he's not going to change. He's not going to change. And so leopard isn't going to change the spots. And he's not, if he gets back on Twitter, he really, really can't be like, this person is horrible, bad, horrible, because Debbie Donovan, Debbie, thank you. H.A. Yes and yes. If the left actually practice what they preach, the world hates a bully. Yes, exactly. Yes and yes. Yeah, they don't practice what they preach. That's true. They don't at all. Old Town, hello, Debbie. Yes, I agree. They don't practice what they preach. They actually are the bullies. So they actually bully. That's the thing. I agree with you. They do bully. That's the thing. They bully all the time. Debbie, thank you so much. They bully all the time. Let's see. They bully all the time, and then they complain that Trump is a bully, and then they defend their actions trying to torment Trump by saying, "Oh, we have to cut him down to size," when in reality it's just an opportunity. Like when they disown friends and family because of Trump, those people aren't bullying them, but they just can't stand the cognitive dissonance too much for them. That's why I say, look, the next 2 years, be careful who you talk politics with. Do not even people who might not dislike Trump but have had enough of him. Don't even bring Trump up. Don't even bring Trump up. I would say that for the next 2 years, enjoy politics, definitely on this channel, but don't bring politics up at work. I mean, at work you should. I don't care if it's all Trump Republicans. Lewis, you're right. You're right. Exactly. No, American Girl, they did, but here's the thing. He never really sat down and explained it. It was a press release. He didn't have to explain it. It was complete nonsense. He never said the 1930s and 1940s people were good people. He never said they were fine people. He said Republicans were fine people who wanted statues up. But they didn't hear that. He condemned the horrible people who were carrying torches. He condemned them numerous times with them. But the emotion, if they say something and if it's emotionally charged, if they say something that is emotionally charged, that's all they need. That's all they need. They run on emotion. That's why they're like, you could see it also with, the written, the young man House video. He's obviously getting assaulted. He's obviously getting attacked. He was obviously defending himself, but they see it as he's the aggressor. I don't know how, but they see it as he's the aggressor. I mean, when confronted with reality, they refuse to see it. Hunter is an example with those emails and the money flow. So I'm not saying that you're going to convince people. What I'm saying is it would be nice if he got out of his shell, broke out of his shell, and it would be an admirable thing. Even the left that despise him would be like, well, it was okay, but still, he's horrible and terrible. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, independents would like that. Eric Samurai, hello. Independents would like that. So, I am going to have, ladies and gentlemen, I should have had a live stream on H.A. Goodman's other channel. I'll have actually a segment upload on this channel and H.A. Goodman's other channel later this evening. So please go ahead and definitely be here for that. Okay, let's just go ahead really quickly. Let's think. Do you think impeachment will happen? Do you think impeachment is going to take place in 2023 or 2024? Right before November, which would be hilarious. Let me know. You think impeachment will take place in 2023 or 24? Angela Goodwin! How fast can they forget his daughter is a... yes. They forgot that real convert. Yeah, they forgot. They don't care. They don't care. Because they're always like, well, that doesn't mean anything. Angela Goodwin, thank you so much. They don't care. Angela, they don't. The cognitive dissonance is an impenetrable wall. Also, like, the one thing Trump, it's the most important thing in life, I think. The most important thing in life is to love the people who love you, treat them the best you can, but have your family love you. Or the people close to you care about you, love you. But your family, like your kids and your wife, and his family loves him. Trump's family loves him. You could say the same thing about Biden, but, they try to disparage, demean, tear Trump down all the time. They have an obsession, like The Atlantic and, other publications. They have an obsession with Trump. But the reality is, the people who know him like him. Mike Tyson likes Trump. Everybody likes Trump. Everybody that knows him. There are people there are people who don't like him, obviously, that know him. But the majority of the people that he's done business with, or like I should say, the majority of the people that he's been loyal to or friendly with, Dana White likes Trump. People like he's a good friend. Trump is a good friend, a loyal friend. Okay? He's I think one thing that's amazing about him is that he doesn't drink. I mean, it's like a great quality to have, Thank you, Angela. Debbie, thank you again. Debbie Donovan, thank you. So yeah, I think in 2023. But Trump, like his family loves him. That's a beautiful thing. You know, they try to make him the embodiment of everything evil. And it's like, no, his family loves him. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And really, like, just, you get these people who are like, oh my God, he has a whole bunch of people accusing him of things. Well, so does Biden. Trump has more. Okay, but it's politically expedient, or let's say it's more acceptable in today's world to accuse Trump of anything under the sun than it is of a Democrat. So you're taking a risk, a huge risk, accusing a Democrat. You're not taking a risk accusing Trump. You'll be like championed, lionized. You'll be vilified immediately if you accuse Biden. So you're probably telling the truth if you accuse a Democrat of those things. Or I should say, if the credibility meter, because then the Democrats say, it's a credible accusation. That's a euphemism for an accusation that's baseless or without any evidence. But it's credible in the minds of the good people, the smart people. Exactly, Gigi, exactly. And you see him, he was a part of, then there's like one picture of him with that really disgraced, despicable person who's no longer around, who was an actual Democratic donor and who had much closer ties to Democrats. So, and who was able to get out of despicable acts in New York. How that happened, nobody knows. Love Johnny Cash. Love Johnny Cash. They might level charges at him this week, but again, it's like they're not gonna. It's not the DOJ. It would be Congress, and like I said today, they already leveled criminal accusations against Hillary Clinton. So that would be just politics. The difference, though, is that if you actually had an investigation, like a serious investigation, they already found, like on this channel, please go to my my section on shorts. And there's a short on the Honorable James Comey. Share that everywhere. That's really important. That's really important. That's below in the pinned comment also. I'm reading this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Angie. Tell your friends about this channel, please. Tell your friends, family, anyone who might be interested, who isn't a member, who likes to go on YouTube. That's the best thing that could happen. We're actually really close to 201,000 subs. So if you could do that, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very, very much. God bless you all. Merry Christmas. Chag Sameach. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Actually, please be here. Please be here in about an hour and a half or so. Probably around 9:30, probably 10. I'll have uploads on this channel and H.A. Goodman's other channel. Eric, thank you. Thanks, everybody. God bless. To my super chat, I can't do this without you. Eric Samurai, thank you so much, everyone. Kim McGuire, everybody here. Debbie, everybody here. American Girl, thank you so very, very much. And Angela, as always, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Be here tomorrow at H-Toast. Thank you. Be here tomorrow at I would say about 6:30 p.m. Pacific, everybody. 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Thanks, everybody. God